7 now, 20 minutes to 7. We started this half hour talking about what Portland and a few other school districts have decided their back to school plan is. Those plans are now getting solidified across the state.
Yeah, the state obviously has its own recommendations as well. We're talking about this all morning. Chloe Tebow live with a pretty special guest to help answer some of your questions that you guys have been asking. Hey, Chloe.
Hey, good morning. Yeah, I've been here with Commissioner Pender Makin with the Maine Department of Education all morning. Thank you, Pender, so much for answering some of these questions.
Glad to be here, Chloe. Thanks.
Really appreciate it. So some questions that we've gotten from a couple of viewers is talking about remote learning options. We had one woman, Lisa Ann, write in about her son being more at risk with lung disease. She's worried about him going back to classrooms. So we're wondering, will schools be offering remote learning options for families who are worried about the safety of in-person learning?
Right. Well, as I've said before, we know that full-time in-person learning is our strongest recommendation for all students, and schools are able to create conditions that will keep students safe. That said, for years, Maine schools have been offering innovative pathways, flexible, including remote options for students, individual students who need those, or groups of students who would benefit from something a little bit different from the in-person classroom experience. And those would still be offered within the school settings. That said, the Department of Education does not require of schools any specific instructional modalities or programs. And so we encourage parents, with students especially who have particular needs, to reach out to your schools, communicate with the principals and the superintendents and the nurses and counselors, and make sure that your child's needs are well known. And schools have been for years very flexible around creating these pathways for students who need them.
Thank you so much, Commissioner. And then coming up, the next question we're going to be asking, the final question this morning, is talking on the other end of that spectrum, staff members and teachers who may be concerned about returning. Is there a concern about having a shortage of employees this year? Live in Portland this morning, Chloe Tebow, News Center, Maine.